Hey, it's Kelly from paperbeadrollers.com. And the other day I ran across these beads that I had made for a different project. A failed project, actually, something that just never gelled into what I had intended it to be. And I decided to find something to make with them. Also, a few months ago, we put these cute little twisty curved spacers in the shop at paperbeadrollers.com, and I've been wanting to make something. And so I decided to put the two together. And in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this gorgeous ombre paper bead twisty necklace and earring set. I think, it's pretty easy to make, but I think it's kind of comes off as nice and sophisticated. What do you think? Yeah? All right, let's get started and I'll show you how to do it. Here are the tools and supplies you'll need for this project. A crimping tool, jewelry pliers, and scissors. You'll need some paper beads. I ended up using about 34 small beads for the necklace and the earrings combined. Curved spacer tubes. Now the ones I'm using are about 2.4 centimeters long and 2 millimeters round. Now you can use ones with different dimensions for your project, but these ones are available at paperbeadrollers.com in packs of 20. I used 2 packs for this project and had a couple left over. I'm using this 49 strand Beadalon, which works perfectly. Now you will also need some crimps to go with your wire. There are some other findings you'll need for this project, such as 4 and 6 millimeter jump rings, 6 4 millimeter daisy spacers, a clasp for the necklace, and some earring hooks. I'm also going to use wire guardians, but those are optional. So like I said in the introduction, the other day I ran across this little bead cache I'd almost forgotten about. I made these beads for a totally different project, which never came together the way I envisioned. So I decided to use them for something new. Now I originally made these beads by printing the 1/4 inch wide, 6 and 12 inch long strips in the standard triangle digital download pack. Now you can get that pack at paperbeadrollers.com. It has SVG files for cutting machines and PDFs that you can download and print on your printer and hand cut. Now these beads right here I made with the double pin bead roller. I have a tutorial on how to do these beads and I can link it down in the description if you're interested in watching that. Now, I'm not going to be using them for this project. Now I made the different sizes of beads here by using single, double, or triple layers of strips. So I'm just gonna kind of sort out these sizes so I can see what I have. Now I could use these 2 beads for earrings, but I think I have something else in mind. Now for the necklace, I've been dying to use those curved spacer beads ever since they went into the shop a few months ago. I think it's time. So I've just gone ahead and laid out a design on my bead board for you. I decided to do an ombre twisty necklace, I'm going to call it. I started with the smallest and lightest colored beads at the top, and as it moves down into larger and darker beads at the center. Now the very center bead in both strands is made of 2 different colors, so it's going to give the necklace a subtle focal point without being overpowering. The longer strand is going to be about 22 inches long, and the inside strand is going to be around 20. Now it's kind of hard to get exact measurements when you're dealing with these curved spacers because they do not sit straight on the bead board. So you kind of have to play with them a little. I've cut a piece of beading wire that's about 26 inches long. That gives me some room to work with the ends. First, I'm going to put on a crimp bead. Now, if you get confused about what size crimp bead you need, most beading wire says it right on the package. For example, I'm using this 0.18 wire, and when I turn the package over, it shows that I should use a number 1 round crimp, which is what I have right here. String the crimp bead on first. Then I'm going to use a wire guardian. Now wire guardians protect the wire in places where it's going to rub a lot. They can look a bit bulky, so I don't always use them. However, this part of the necklace will be hidden behind my neck, so it's really not an issue here. Now you can do this with your fingers, but I'm going to use the jewelry pliers so that you can see better what I'm doing. Put the wire in through one side of the Guardian, go over the top, and down through the other side. And then put the wire through the crimp. Then pull it tight. And make sure your wires are straight and don't cross each other. And just use your crimp tool to squeeze the crimp into place nice and tight. Now, this part is easy peasy. Just string on the beads in the spacers in the order you have them lined up on the bead tray. Make sure to tuck that wire tail into the first few beads. You won't be able to do this project with a lightweight thread. You need something that is strong enough to push through the spacer, yet pliable enough to curve with it. Now, this 49 strand is perfect. Occasionally, you may find a spacer where you have trouble getting through it. Just flip it over and try it from the other direction. It really doesn't matter which way you string these. They're going to look the same either way. And when they make these, they have this big long tube, and then they cut the pieces after it's formed. So sometimes when they cut, it closes up a little bit on the ends, and it can be a little hard to get the wire through. When I have really stubborn ones, I'll grab some stiff wire and just try to open up those ends a little bit more. I'll finish this off with a crimp and a wire guardian, just like the other side. And we'll tuck the wire tail in, cutting off the extra. Now you're going to make a second strand in exactly the same manner, but it's going to be about 2 inches shorter so they fit nicely together. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back here and we will connect them. I decided to use a 4mm jump ring to connect them, which is pretty small. There's a lot of movement in these strands because of the curves, and I really don't want them shifting around a lot on my neck. So the small jump ring is going to help keep them in place. I'm using my little jump ring opener ring, which is available at paperbeadrollers.com. Makes my life so much easier and helps me ruin less jump rings. So I'll put one of these jump rings on each side of the necklace. And here on the left side, I'm going to slip an 8mm jump ring on as a catch for my lobster clasp. And I'll use another jump ring to put my lobster clasp on the right side. and we are finished with the necklace. But you can't have a statement necklace like this without having earrings to match, right? Right. So I'm going to start the earrings the same way I started the necklace, with a crimped loop. Then I'm going to string on the spacer first, then the paper bead, and then a 4mm daisy spacer. Now we didn't use these in the necklace. The only reason that I'm using it here in the earring is because I never allow paper beads to hang on the ends of pins or wire without some sort of spacer underneath them. In fact, I keep these small daisy spacers in the shop for just this reason, to go underneath paper beads and keep them from sliding off wires. We're going to just add a crimp on the end and it's going to hold everything on tight to the wire. Just clip off the extra. Do this with as many beads as you like. You can have like a big old earring with all kinds of these hanging off. I'm just going to do 3. Now I can just hook these 3 danglings right onto my ear wire, and I have lovely matching earrings for my Ombre Twisty necklace. Now this was a pretty simple project. If I had been doing it straight through without trying to film and do a tutorial, it probably wouldn't have taken me more than, I don't know, 30 minutes to do both the necklace and the earrings. But I feel like it does look kind of elegant. I think this is a great piece for a gift or to sell at a craft fair, which hopefully we will have tons of this summer. If you'd like to see more projects like this or to learn more about making paper beads, be sure you hit like on this video and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.